Right, boys, Wagwan. Before the age of 16 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was directionless. I didn't know where I was going. I thought I'd found my passion in like making clothing and selling clothing online, like online e-commerce sort of thing. But I hadn't. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I wasn't making much money at all. Around 15 years old, I got heavily addicted to smoking weed and had a bunch of issues with drugs, but then I eventually ended up stopping around 6 months before I turned 16. And then around 16 years old, I'd been clean for around 6 months, but I didn't have any direction. I didn't know where I was going. I had no clue what I actually wanted to do with my life. And so I simply just started working a factory job. I was working my days away, cutting wood up. It wasn't too bad at first, but I knew it definitely wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. Like every day was just the same. I would be cutting pieces of wood up and it'd just feel like so repetitive every day. And I wasn't making any money elsewhere. But it wasn't until literally April of this year that I found my purpose. I found out what I wanted to do with my life. And I don't know what it was. It hit me. I started dropshipping and I started seeing some good success with it. I was making good money, which was fucking massive for me at the time. So I started growing like a passion for that. And then I think around a month later, I started my YouTube channel, which instantly, as soon as I started, bro, I just loved everything about it. I loved editing videos. I loved making the thumbnails. I love actually recording the videos. So I just grew an attachment to making YouTube videos, and what do you know, we're 2 months in with 150 videos out on the channel. There's not many 17-year-old YouTubers, or YouTubers at all for that matter, who can say that they've got that amount of videos out in such a short time span. So that's certainly something I'm proud of, and I feel myself growing closer to this every day. So with that simple flick of the switch, I was able to find what I actually wanted to do with my life. It was something in my mind. I was just so sick of the current circumstances I had, so sick of being average, so sick of not getting the way I wanted, and I wasn't in control of my life, and that fucking pissed me off. I wouldn't say I had terrible mental health by any means, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good mental health. It really pissed me off that I saw all these people online that looked like they were making money so effortlessly, and I was working my ass off in this fucking job that I absolutely hated for minimum wage, knowing that I had skills that I could use to make potentially millions online. So as I said, around April, I started implementing all the self-improvement habits consistently. So I'd been doing ice baths and stuff on and off for probably like 6 months, 8 months at this point. But around April, I start like fucking locking in. Like I'm doing the ice baths every single day. I'm hopping up at 5 a.m, which actually turned into 4 a.m. in May. I started hopping up at 3:30, 4 a.m. I'm just doing everything I know I should be doing, reading every day. And I'm working on the dropshipping store and the YouTube channel every single day, all right? This is when I start to make the progress. The consistent efforts, okay? It was very slow at first, literally the first month of dropshipping until the 26th of April, so 26 days in, is when I started seeing a little bit of success. So in such a short time span, I've gone from directionless, not knowing what I actually wanted to do with my life, thinking that I'm probably going to be stuck in this job for the next year or two until I find my purpose, to then 2 months later quitting my job, having enough income to live off of at 17 years old. That's just crazy to me, bro. And this transformation only happened because I finally figured out what I wanted to actually do with my life. And if you're still unsure about what you actually want to do, I'm going to give you some steps that are going to help you find your direction. Alright, so my first piece of advice for you would be to pinpoint what's bothering you, alright? Because often people tend to say like, oh, this is the reason my life sucks. Or, I don't know what to do with my life. But instead of saying these sort of like victim mentality things like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know where I'm going, all this sort of stuff. Say to yourself, what do I actually enjoy doing? Like, what would I do even if I wasn't getting paid? Because I just love doing it. Like, what got you out of bed as a kid? What made you want to do it out of sheer enjoyment and nothing else as a child? So ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing and what's missing out of my day? Like, if you love riding BMXs, but you're working an office job and then you commute to the gym in the afternoon and then you commute home and you have some shitty food you don't like, you're not doing anything with your day you actually enjoy. You're not even got your BMX riding in your day. So how the fuck do you expect to enjoy your life, find your purpose when you're not even doing anything that could potentially lead to that? This is something that I came to realize shortly before I quit my job and started doing all this dropshipping and stuff online. I wasn't filling my day with activities that were likely to get me towards my goal. I would hop up at 5 a.m. I would eat breakfast around 6 a.m., go to work for 8 hours, go to the gym, and then come home and work on some music for a couple of hours. Whilst yes, the music was fun, writing raps was fun, it wasn't going to get me towards that multi-millionaire status that I wanted to reach. It just was not likely, okay? So although I enjoyed it, it wasn't something that had longevity in it for me personally, okay? I certainly think there are people out there who can make it work for them, but I knew I wanted to make a bigger impact than just music. Right now, the next thing I would recommend you do is design your perfect day. Literally the night before, I sit down for half an hour and plan the next day in its entirety so that I know each and every minute's accounted for. I know exactly what I'm doing for the whole day. So then I don't get sidetracked. And for you, in your specific use case, you're going to use this time to find your purpose, find your why. What would you do if there were no limits? Okay? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Even better yet, what would you do? I'm wording this very specifically. What would you do if you knew you could fail? Just out of the love of it. You knew you could fail, but you want to do it anyway because you love doing it so much. All right? For me, it's YouTube. I love that I'm able to share this content, even if it's helping just one of you. I love that I'm able to do that because I know that I'm actually able to have enough power to change people's lives. I've been helping my mate Riley out. I've been helping him get himself out of the hole, out of the shitty place that I was once in. And I find that so empowering. Now think about what you enjoy. I know I said a lot about like doing the stuff that you love and like what would you do if you didn't get paid, but think about what you do in your free time. What makes you generally happy? And I'm not talking about things like hanging out with your girlfriend or, scrolling on TikTok. What makes you genuinely happy? What do you actually enjoy? As I said, could be BMX riding, you could be drawing, you could really love driving cars. Figure out a way to turn that into a business. If you drive cars and you think, oh, there's no money in cars, start making car content online. I guarantee you, for a year straight, if you just posted nothing but car content, just lived and breathed cars, everything to do with your car, driving your car, talking about cars, you could then make a paid car club community online and monetize off of that. People don't think rationally about this stuff, okay? Whatever you do, you can turn it into a business. All right, so think about ways that you can actually monetize off of what you're doing. Think about, okay, I'm doing this, how can I turn this into a potential business? A perfect example of this, bro. I went downtown to buy some protein literally yesterday. My mum had obviously spoken to the guys at the sub shop, so they sort of knew what I was doing, like dropship and how much money I was making. And they were blown away by the knowledge which I had, all right? They couldn't believe they were talking to a 17-year-old kid who knew this much stuff about websites and web design, all this different stuff. And I actually landed some work because of it. So because of this single skill that I've got, I'm able to monetize off of it. I'm now going to go down there every single Wednesday to do consulting and help them scale their business further online, to help them with online content. And I was talking to the boss about all these different things that I can do to his website to improve it, make it better, increase his conversion rate. I'm like, these are all valuable skills which I've got. And I never even thought to go down to local businesses and give them to the local businesses in exchange for money. All right, bro, so you need to look out for opportunity. That's another thing. But you also need to remember to take it slow and don't stress about figuring everything out immediately. You're not going to find your purpose overnight, okay? You can certainly search and, try new, different things to actually try and find your purpose, but don't rush it. There's no rush on it. If you don't find it immediately, that's okay. I've been in this entrepreneurship game since literally September of 2022. I was still smoking weed at that point, but I've been wanting to make money and find my purpose since then. And I've only just recently found it in April of this year. So there's no rush. You're going to find it. So long as you've got that work ethic, so long as you've got that drive, there's no fucking way you fail, okay? The best entrepreneurs were so relentless in their pursuit that they became the best entrepreneurs, and they did not start with much at all. Elon Musk was literally sleeping in the same office which he worked in for 12 hours a day. He would then sleep there that night. All right, so as long as you want it bad enough, bro, there's no rush. I promise you it will be hard, but you'll get there if you've got a good work ethic and a good grind. All right, so start with a small step towards things that you actually enjoy doing, and things will finally start to make sense. Now, I hope you found immense value in this video, bro. If you did, the top link in the description there is going to take you to my free entrepreneurial skill community, where I'm teaching young and ambitious entrepreneurs such as yourself how to make their first $10,000 online. And as always, stay grinding, bro.